Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern Ned Reynolds, back to work. It's Monday, so Congress is recessed, right? So that means nothing's going down with that college sports situation, right?
The senators who are pushing it, Senator Cruz, Senator Cantwell, and Missouri Senator Eric Schmidt, had hoped to get it through the Senate in this session before they went on vacation on Friday, late Friday. Matter of fact, they even extended the session, but it wasn't for that. It was for a vote, a key vote to the Trump administration. Anyway, it got pushed back, and so it will now be decided. It'll be very first on the agenda, or close to first on the agenda, when the Senate reconvenes in the second week in September. If it passes, and I think it probably will, certainly President Trump will sign the bill. It will bring some order to college sports. Will it bring total order? Is there any such thing as total order? But it will certainly make the whole episode much more palatable to the public than it is now. So we'll see what happens, but it's not going to happen until mid-September.
He was the second winningest coach in NBA history. Don Nelson gone at the age of 86.
Oh, it's a shame, too. He played college basketball when I was in school. Matter of fact, I had the opportunity to see him play as a collegiate and as a pro, and he was just a smooth player. Got picked up by the Boston Celtics after the University of Iowa. He's one of Iowa's all-time great basketball players. A three-time most valuable player on the team. Saw him play at the Quaker City Classic in Philadelphia back in 1960 or 61. I've forgotten what year it was. Nonetheless, Don Nelson did go to the NBA, played for the Boston Celtics, a sixth man off the bench for 11 seasons, won 5 NBA championships with the Celtics, and then went on to coaching. And he coached in the NBA for 31 years, and Mike, as you just mentioned, he was, up until 2022, the all-time winningest coach in NBA history, eventually passed by Greg Popovich of the San Antonio Spurs. But be that as it may, Don Nelson was just a top-level individual. He had his style of basketball. In fact, it was called Nelly ball, very much the way Spoon played basketball here in town. Nelson was a defensive specialist, a good player. I wouldn't call him a great player, but he was certainly a good, solid role player and a wonderful teacher and coach. That's a shame. He died yesterday at the age of 86, living down in Texas. Don Nelson leaving us, and that creates a big void.
Yeah, great ball player. Not flashy, but knew how to win, and that's really what counts at the end of the day. It was also the last regular season golf tournament before they start the playoffs this upcoming weekend. Who got the big purse?
Michael Brennan. He's a 24-year-older out of Wake Forest, his first career win, and they finished at 22 under par. And as you mentioned, now the playoffs begin. These are the FedEx playoffs, and they start on Thursday of this week in Memphis with the St. Jude Children's Hospital FedEx tournament that they have. It's a $20 million purse. They'll all be there. And the way it works now is that only 70 golfers, they're the only ones who can play. After this tournament, the field is cut to 50, and those 50 go to Belle Reve in St. Louis, and they play the following week, that's later on in August, in the BMW Classic. And then the field is reduced to the final 30, and they play at East Lake in Atlanta for the $40 million prize money, $20 million of which goes to the winner. This is big-time money, folks, and you'll see all the big stars. Of course, number one among the 70 players who are eligible is Scottie Scheffler, as you might expect. And it's a pretty interesting field and one that is capable of big upsets.
Cardinals, they end the weekend with the win?
They did indeed. They got 3 runs in the 8th inning to break a 4-4 tie. I'll tell you what, the Colorado Rockies are not very good, but they are pesky. Beat the Cardinals 10-6 on Saturday. And then they were behind 4-1, came back and tied the game 4-4, and then the Cardinals win it with 3 runs. J.J. Weatherholt, 2-run single in the 8th inning, and indeed it was a 7-4 win for the Cardinals over the Colorado Rockies. Tonight the Cardinals play the Philadelphia Phillies in the start of a 3-game series in St. Louis.
Royals wish they could have got a win against the Cubs yesterday and take that series, but still at 49 games for the year.
Boy, I'll tell you, the Cubs came in and they were swinging the bat. They were facing the Dobnik guy, Randy Dobnik, who was called up from the minor leagues about 3 or 4 weeks ago by the Royals. And the Cubs took target practice. 18 hits Chicago had yesterday up at Kauffman Stadium, beat the Royals by a score of 10-2. And I'll tell you, Chicago's not to be trifled with. They're a very good baseball team. They're going to be awfully tough to handle if they make the playoffs. And I assume they're going to right now, although they're behind the Milwaukee Brewers. Still, they have the Brewers to play, I think, 7 times before the season ends. Springfield Cardinals were down in San Antonio hoping to even their series with the Missions, and the final game did not do so. San Antonio won by a score of 7-4, so the Missions take that series 4-2, and now the Cardinals return home.
What about the world of NASCAR? They had a week off the previous week, but they were back in action over the weekend.
Up in Iowa, they ran the Iowa Corn 350, which is on a less than mile track in Newton, Iowa. It's the Iowa Speedway, and it's a very nice track. Had a big crowd up there. And the short track race won by Ty Gibbs. He beat Christopher Bell down the stretch, and Ty Gibbs gets his second win of the year, and both of them were short track events. So that does help. It adds to his points. And we're getting close now to the end of NASCAR's regular season. Now, that doesn't mean they quit racing, not at all. But when the regular season ends, they take the 16 top drivers, and they're the ones who are vying for the NASCAR championship down the stretch. Everybody races. That doesn't have anything to do with the races. But in fact, only those 16 have a chance to win anything down the stretch.
We'll see, man. There's a lot of money to be had. We'll see who gets it all at the end. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.